we need to work through the complexity of, we may need to work through, most of us generally need to work through the complexity of questioning, who am I? Where am I? What is this world? When we come to those spiritual texts, you can read these books by Eckhart Tolle and, Ram Dass, and what to speak of getting into all these Buddhist texts and so on. And there's truth in them, but it can get so complex that it's almost like sometimes we think that complexity is its the proof of its validity, right? But I do think we need to watch out for it. And this is saying I found it to be so profound what Nietzsche said. And how do you pronounce it again? Nietzsche. That he said, to me, this is the protocol of the pretentious spiritual teacher, right? Is that they muddy the waters to make them seem deep. Right? The water's not deep, but you muddy it up, and for all you know, it's super deep. Interesting. And the teacher, what he's sharing may not be deep at all, but you present it in such a muddy way that it's, oh, wow, he must be so deep. But really, the spiritual teachings, they should be, we have to go through some complex questions, achintya beta beta tattva, simultaneously one and different. We do need to hear these things, but the explanation should bring us to a very simple place. You know what? There's God, he's unlimited and he's beautiful and full of all wonderful qualities.
It is one of the blessings that we receive when we got books by Prabhupada. He made the complex very simple. And previously I was just reading tons of books by yogis, and some of them are words, and I felt like nothing practical. I was like, tell me what to do so I can be like you. If you're enlightened and you seem enlightened, your picture has you with this halo over your head, tell me what to do so I can move up this path. But it's lost in this world of words.
Right.
And I think people need it to be simple first, to get out of the complexities of material existence, which is like a knot.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a spiritual podcast with your host.
Kind of daily.
A kind of daily. A spiritual podcast that happens a lot. It's still, by the way, 3 days a week is still a lot.
Well, 4 right now.
We're at 4, but 4 days a week a lot. People do like 2 podcasts
4 or 5 right now.
People do like 4 podcasts a month. That's a lot for a lot of podcasts.
For a lot of podcasts it is. So we're currently 4 to 5 days a week. That's where we're at.
And co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center at one time. Everything has to be changed. You got to change this whole introduction. One time, this man was it's like one time I played Little League.
First baseman.
And co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center, historically, Kaustubha Das. It's today's Thursday, August 14, 2025. It is still episode 1656. Welcome to the show. It's a show. All right.
That much is the same. It's still a show.
It's still a show. Me and Mary had a great day hanging out with Prajumna yesterday.
Yeah.
Prajumna,
brilliant philosopher.
Brilliant philosopher, and he's just got a brain full of incredible stories of swamis, gurus, traveling with Prabhupada throughout India. This stuff is incredibly valuable, and he's working on multiple books at a time.
Upanishads, Mahabharata.
Mahabharata. He sent me this incredible thing about Mahabharata yesterday. You know, Mahabharata begins and ends with a dog.
I know that it ends with a dog.
It begins with a dog.
Different dog?
A different dog. Yeah.
All right.
I'll tell you about it later. But anyway, very interesting guy. And it's almost, I tried to like record everything I spoke to him about, because it's just like nugget after nugget after nugget after nugget. Traveling with Prabhupada, meeting, famous gurus and swamis, and
You never know where your
Hare
skills
Krishna
are going to take.
movement.
You know, like he just picked up some books on Sanskrit grammar or whatever, figured it out, and it took him all around the world with Srila Prabhupada. You know, you never know.
I know.
You never know.
hmm It's
All
one
right.
of these things. You never know. Sometimes it almost feels like I can see in my life, just being a little older, I just feel like it's almost like
Tell me.
everything has sort of been planned out for you already. It's like I feel like I've
Sometimes
made
it does feel
few
like that.
choice. I've made some like I've made some choices. Yeah, I've been focused on certain things I wanted to do, like this retreat center. I've always wanted to do this my whole life, pretty much my whole life in my adult life after I became a devotee. But was that even my choice? Or was that sort of like, or are our lives
Programmed into.
rolling out as planned and as destiny?
I think
It's a little bit of
it's a
our
blend of
choice.
both. It's a
It's a
blend of
blend
both.
of both.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be in a band. I never like, I want to grow up and be in a band. That they just
Just happened.
unfolded. Mara never asked, "My Lord, please make me a famous chef." No, you didn't ask for that.
What to speak of a podcast
She never
host
asked to be a
and
podcast hostess,
and
producer.
production producer. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Destiny is interesting. It's almost like we're an orange seed and we're destined to be that orange tree.
And
Maybe
yet there's choice and there's some flexibility within that too.
some, but I'm wondering how much.
We can emphasize either end of it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before we
Anyway.
get into that very incredibly complex conversation, which could go on for many shows,
Yes.
why don't we check in with Mariji?
We have no show tomorrow, but we'll be back on Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern time.
Get used to it, people.
Yep. Celebrate Janmashtami.
Yeah, on a lot of weeks I want to do the you know, like a Q&A, but just not this week.
Sure.
Yeah, Janmashtami. So hey, Janmashtami and Prabhupada's appearance, they're gonna be Saturday and Sunday.
Come to the Bhakti Center. We're going to be there. Me
We'll
and
be there.
Kaustubha high-fiving.
All right.
Mara's not going to be there.
They've invited us to set up a table there.
Oh,
Wisdom Sage's table. I don't know.
You want me to bring some stuff down?
We can talk about it. We can talk
Okay.
about it.
That's what we were doing.
I mean, off the show.
Oh, okay. You don't think 10,000 people need to hear this?
No, I think what they
At
need
our
to hear is
table?
this incredible nugget.
Okay, let's get to our nuggets, Sarah. Miss Mara, read to us, please.
Who's it from,
Wisdom.
Mare?
Oliver Wendell Holmes.
What can you
That's
tell me
Sherlock.
about
Wait,
Sherlock
Oliver Wendell-
Holmes?
Didn't he? Is that Sherlock Holmes?
No, he is not
No,
sure.
it's not.
Is Sherlock Holmes real? Or
But
was he?
there's
Oliver
this is
Wendell Holmes.
this is actually from Oliver, and again, 3 names. Take note, Raghunath.
Okay.
Right, 3 names. This is from Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. because Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., you know, if you got 3 names, do you have to give your kid the same whole name, right? Like all 3?
Come on, mix it up.
Yeah, but Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. was a Supreme Court justice.
Huh.
But Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. was an American physician, poet, essayist, and professor. He was the leader of the Fireside Poets, a group of 19th century New England writers who emphasized accessible, moral, and family-friendly poetry. And he was also a medical reformer, and he coined the phrase Boston Brahmin to describe the city's cultural elite.
Wow.
Huh.
Boston Brahmin, you've heard that before, right?
Yeah, I have. Very interesting.
He was also friends with Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
Look at Mara coming up with more information.
Wadsworth.
Yeah. Henry Wald. You see, they all had 3 names. Henry David Thoreau. And all of these guys.
Done by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Can anybody know where that's from? A Day is Done by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I'm going to leave it on the message. I'm going to throw that out there,
Day
that
is
challenge horse,
Done.
if anyone knows where I'm quoting that from.
Now you see, Sherlock Holmes was written by Arthur Conan
Doyle.
Doyle.
Another 3
3
names. Ray
names.
Raghunath Capo. Kaustubha, come on, join the club.
All right. All right, what does he say, Mir?
He writes, "For the simplicity on this side of complexity, I wouldn't give you a fig."
Okay.
Fig.
Wouldn't give you a fig.
You know, they always talk, they belittle figs, and figs are one of the best fruits out there.
I think because
actually
so many
take
of them grow on the
offense.
tree, right?
Oh,
Like,
that's a good point. There are lots of figs.
Sort of
So,
like materialism.
so he says, for simplicity on this side of complexity,
I wouldn't give you a
I
fig.
wouldn't give you a
For
fig.
simplicity on this side of
But for the simplicity on the other side of complexity,
Mm-hmm.
for that, I would give you anything I have.
Raghu, reveal to us something about this nugget.
Interesting. I'm just going to read it one more time. For
Okay.
the simplicity on this side of complexity, I wouldn't give a fig.
Okay.
But for the simplicity on the other side of
I'd
complexity,
give you a fig Newton.
for that, I
I'd
would give you anything I have. You know,
Okay.
I recognize the pattern here.
Yeah.
Things go from simple to complex, then back to simple. And
When
it can
they're
be like that.
full. Yeah. When you're.
And it can be like that on one spiritual journey. In the beginning, the materialist simplicity is shallow, right? Like love is just an emotional buzz, a physical comfort, the warmth of family life, the thrill of touching another body, the little rush of being wanted, right? It feels so real. They never ask if there's more.
Right.
But once you step on a spiritual path, you start to see through, all these things with a sharper eye. You notice the flaws, the temporality, the fear, the loss. You dive into the books about spirit, the soul, the illusion of matter, and you start to chew on sayings like "Be here now." Like that's a big one. I can stay with this for a
Be
while.
here now.
All is one. We sit with that for a while.
Uh-huh.
The sound of one hand clapping. I never really, sat with that, but you get the idea.
Okay.
But you wrestle with these tangled questions. Am I God? Is everything God? Is there no God? Is the world real? Am I living in a dream, right?
Yeah.
Are my
Yeah, the world is a
dreams
dream.
real? The thinking gets more sophisticated and way more complicated.
All right.
But if someone can get the right guidance, then they can make it through and come out the other side. And what you find looks simple again, but now it holds all the wisdom you fought for. The love you started
Right.
with was born with ignorance, with passion, with just pure lust. The love you find here is in full knowledge of yourself, of the supreme, of your relation, of your relationship, of your relationships in this world. It's pure without a trace of selfishness. It's totally simple, in expression, but deeply profound and completely spiritual. What do you think about that, Kaustubha?
I agree, Raghunath. I do see that is the pattern in one sense. Like there's this in many I suppose this works in many contexts, where you start simple, you go through some complexity and you come out simple on the other side. Like in design, I suppose things are like that. And in so many fields, but definitely in spirituality. And this is so relevant when we're reading the 10th canto, because like we're going to read, like even today, we're going to read, if we get there. You got to think about this sage Vyasa, right? This is like a philosopher. Like you just can't imagine the brains of these characters, right? Like the complexity of the things that he wrote.
Hanging out with
volume.
Pradyumna yesterday, I could start to imagine brains very,
He's
very
got a
sophisticated.
brain on another level.
Yeah.
And so what to think, speak of someone like Vyas. So he wrote, all the Vedas. He wrote these complex philosophical works, the Upanishads, and, Mahabharata. He wrote incredible stories in the Puranas and the Mahabharata. And, he wrote the Bhagavad Gita, his condensed spiritual knowledge. He writes, all these Puranas and the Bhagavatam with all this incredible philosophy. And you get to the other side, and this is the pinnacle. The 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam is Vyasa's concluding, most important contribution.
Is that called the Swan Song?
So I suppose Swan Song means it's kind of like the last thing you do, right? And I suppose this could be called the Swan Song. And it's, like people that really understand Sanskrit and Korean, they're saying it's this most beautiful, well-developed poetry that he's writing. But if we just read these verses straight, like in their translated form, I suppose it would help if we could really understand the Sanskrit, because what's being expressed is real simple, but it's being done in very beautiful language. But when we read it, it sounds like, oh, this is just like stories of a little boy playing with his mother. Why did we end up here?
Right. Out of all the things,
Yeah.
we're supposed to now think deep and try to untangle this mess of material existence, and we're reading like fairy tales.
We're just going to be reading about like Mother Yashoda sees her child crawling in the mud, picks him up and breastfeeds him, and feels transcendental spiritual ecstasy. It's like, but the point is, she can only feel that ecstasy, that type of ecstasy, if she's given up all identification with the material, but has no material attachments. And so we need to work through the complexity of. We may need to work through. Most of us generally need to work through the complexity of questioning: who am I? Where am I? What is this world? When we come to those spiritual texts, you can read these books by Eckhart Tolle and Ram Dass, and what to speak of getting into all these Buddhist texts and so on. And there's truth in them, but it can get so complex that it's almost like sometimes we think that complexity is its the proof of its validity, right? But I do think we need to watch out for it. And this is a saying I found it to be so profound. What Nietzsche said. How do you pronounce it again? Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
That he said, to me, this is the protocol of the pretentious spiritual teacher, right? Is that they muddy the waters to make them seem deep. Right? The water's not deep, but you muddy it up, and for all you know, it's super deep.
Interesting.
And the teacher, what he's sharing may not be deep at all, but you present it in such a muddy way that it's, oh, wow, he must be so deep. But really, the spiritual teachings, they should be, we have to go through some complex achintya beta beta tattva, simultaneously one and different. We do need to hear these things, but the explanation should bring us to a very simple place. You know what? There's God. He's unlimited, and he's beautiful and full of all wonderful qualities.
It is one of the blessings that we receive when we got books by Prabhupada. He made the complex very simple. And previously I was just reading tons of books by yogis, and some of them are words, and I felt like nothing practical. I was like, tell me what to do so I can be like you. If you're enlightened and you seem enlightened, your picture has you with this halo over your head. Tell me what to do so I can move up this path. But it's lost in this world of words.
Right.
And I think people need it to be simple first, to get out of the complexities of material existence, which is like a knot.
Yeah, and then the idea that when you come to the conclusion of it all, it's like we're looking for love in this world, and to the spiritualists, it looks like, just see how simple this person is. They haven't realized the temporality, right? They haven't realized the problems with material. They don't realize they're living in a dream. I'm beginning to see that they're simple, but when you come out the other end, it's the same expressions of love. Mother Yashoda is breastfeeding Krishna, but she's doing it on the highest level of spiritual experience, on the highest, with the deepest natural, spontaneous understanding of reality, way beyond that of the Jnani yogi who's, wrestling with these philosophical riddles and everything.
Philosophical riddles. I like that.
Yeah. So let's see if we can get there today in our reading, huh?
By the way, we just noticed this exact same thing in our morning reading this morning.
Did you?
We're doing our Sweet Baby Krishna. It's Krishna's birthday week, so we're reading Advent and all the beginning of the Bhagavatam.
You and Mary together.
Me and Mary together. It's what we do, and it is a charming little story. And then all of a sudden, it hits you with this like deep, heavy philosophical text. It's like, wow, what is this doing in this children's story?
Yeah.
So we are encouraging everybody to get into the first canto, 111, and I'm sorry, the 10th canto, and read these stories about Krishna's appearance.
People are asking for Sweet Baby Krishna, Raghunath.
We do Sweet Baby Krishna tonight. Okay, tonight, 7:00. Boom.
There you go. Boom. For Sage Community Platform members.
All right.
So that'll be announced
Baby
on the Sage
Krishna
Community
tonight,
Platform.
7 p.m.
Look at that, Dana. Ask and ye shall receive.
For you, Dana, we're doing it.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Yeah. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, whichever means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in class in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental song, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, Text 10. Yeah?
Yep.
None
So
of
we
our
got,
said.
you remember what's going on? Garga, the sage Garga, has arrived at the home of Krishna's home, which is the home of his father, Nanda. And Nanda recognizes him as a uniquely qualified sage and an astrologer. And oh, how fortunate you've come to my home. Now, yesterday's show was all about, he praised him for being whole, right? Full, not lacking in anything, because he had this deep inner spiritual experience. What can I offer you? You've got everything, but please come, have a seat, have some water. He shows him respect. And then he says, could you do the astrological readings for my two boys, Krishna and Balaram? And he said, there's a problem with that. You want to make a big ceremony out of this, but everybody knows that I'm the priest of the Yadu dynasty. And Kamsa's going to know that Krishna's here, and he's going to search him out and try to kill him. I don't know if that's such a great idea, right? And then now text 10.
Nanda Maharaj said, my dear great sage, if you think that you're performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of second birth here in the cow shed of my house. AKA manger. Huh?
Okay.
Right?
All right. All right.
But it is.
Uh-huh.
Without the knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives, for this process of purification is essential. So he's got to do these rituals.
Yeah.
But you got to keep it low. It can't be a whole celebration.
Which normally is his mode, right? Let's have a big celebration.
It's a big party. Yeah, that's what you do. It's like a bar mitzvah or it's a wedding. It's a big, invite your friends, offer gifts, hand out sweets.
Okay.
Sukadeva Goswami continued, having thus been especially requested by Nanda Maharaj to do that which he already desired to do, Garga Muni performed the name-giving ceremony for Krishna and Balaram in a solitary place.
So they
Interestingly enough, what was he called before this? He didn't have a name.
Baby. No, I think they were calling him Krishna. But he may get like a more official name now. So that's the idea, right? You do now we pick the name before the child's even born.
Yeah.
Right? Then they would wait till the child is born, do the astrological reading, and the name would kind of be in relation to the astrological reading.
Yeah, there's different options you can get within astrology.
Yeah.
Of what you should name the child.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yep.
Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation.
Garga
Muni said, the child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore, he will be known as Rama. And because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will be also known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Maharaj, he'll be known as Shankarshan.
Okay. So this is Balaram, right? This is why it's called Balaram.
Yep.
You can see it all in the chart.
Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. Imagine an astrologer comes and tells you that in the birth of your child.
It's the way that it's being it sounds to me, because Nanda Maharaj never quite gets it. essentially being told your son is Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, he incarnated. But I think the way that he's understanding it is like he's just a really an incredible person, right? Like,
Really,
because in
special
one sense
kid.
we all incarnate in different times. And so he's saying this child of yours, this son of yours, he takes birth sometimes in this color, sometimes in that color, and he does amazing things.
Your son Krishna appears as an incarnate. Oh wait, okay. Your son appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors: white, red, and yellow, and now he has appeared in a blackish color. In another Dwapara Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra.
In the color.
No, didn't Lord Ramachandra appear in Treta Yuga?
In another Dwapara Yuga, like in a different Yuga cycle.
He appeared another time as Ram.
He's appearing all the time.
In the color of Sukha, the parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna. For many reasons, the beautiful...
But let's just talk about that for a second. This text is used actually to speak about, it's one of the texts used to establish that Sri Chaitanya is Krishna, right? Because here yellow is mentioned, and that's the golden avatar, right? Okay. But Prabhupada uses an interesting, again, like Nanda isn't really getting, oh, my son is this great person that appears in different yugas in different colors. Okay, but it's not like he's God. He's not, that's not quite sinking in. But he is revealing a lot here. Garga is like a sage on this level that he can recognize this. This boy, especially now he's looking at the chart, right? He's like Bhagavan, he's Krishna. But Prabhupada uses this analogy where he says in the commentary, he says that Krishna appears in different incarnation. He appears in different colors, like the sunshine, which contains 7 colors. Like when you have a prism, you take that sunshine, and when the sunshine comes through the prism, you see there's actually 7 colors in this light. So sometimes the colors of sunshine are represented separately. Other times, the sunshine is observed mainly as bright light. The different avatars, such as the Manvantara avatars, the Leela avatars, the Dasa avatars, are all included in Krishna avatar. When Krishna appears, all the avatars appear with him. So it's saying that Krishna is that source of all the avatars. You look at him, he's like, him coming through a prism is you get to see all the different avatars, right? But it's all there in him. He's the source. Swayam Bhagavan.
Beautiful. For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appeared previously as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call this child Vasudeva, son of Vasudeva.
And that verse, it goes right back to like the very invocation of the Bhagavatam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If there's any question about who we're talking about and who the concluding work of Vyasadeva's, what the concluding text of Vyasadeva, who it was dedicated to and who it was all about, it's saying here, when I said Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, I'm speaking about Krishna.
For this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them.
Many names.
To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokul, this child will always act auspiciously for you. And by his grace only, you will surpass all difficulties.
This is beautiful. These are some beautiful verses here, right? It's like, again, he's not getting that he's God, but he's saying, this boy here, by his grace, you can overcome everything. It reminds me of Bhagavad Gita towards the end, the 18th chapter. What is it? I forget it, but it's much chita sarvadurgani, mad prasada tarisyati, that if you simply always think of me, that you will overcome all obstacles. So like Krishna is that, this little boy here, just by your connection to him, by his grace, you'll surpass all the difficulties.
Nanda Maharaj is just exemplifying something happened. Like when you're in love with somebody, you can't hear anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to tell him all these. Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
I thought this time was when when a teenager trying to break up with a girl. I was like, listen, I love
You're
you.
really great.
I really love you, but I really think this isn't going to work.
I love
It's
you
just a
too.
weird thing. And all they hear is, I love you too. I was like, wait a second. I thought we just broke up. He's just trying to tell. He's trying to tell him, listen, you got God here on your lap.
He's actually going to get more explicit, but I think you're exactly right. It's just like it just doesn't register because
It's
of his
like,
fatherly
wah,
love.
wah, 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 wah. I love you.
And we'll read like in later chapters of the 10th canto, right, where it's like Nanda is sitting down with the other cowherd men, like like at the table, like they're having their corporate meeting in a sense, right? And they're saying, Krishna, he's doing a lot of amazing
He's
things.
killing demons. Your child isn't normal. He must be a great yogi.
Demigod or something. Yeah.
Yes, he is amazing, isn't he? He's an amazing child.
Yeah.
Demons and asuras, O Nanda Maharaj, as recorded in history, when there was an irregular, incapable government, Indra having been dethroned, and people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves. This child appeared in order to protect the people and enable them to flourish, and he curbed the rogues and thieves.
Okay.
For some reason, stupid, this reminds me that you have to organize a group of people from New York City and New Jersey to go see the Nrsingadev movie.
Well, it's not. It's showing in New Jersey, but
All right, then you got to.
you're gonna have a hard time getting me out to New Jersey. Okay.
It's a subway stop away on the
path train.
on the path.
But it's got to show in the city, and as soon as it does, we'll organize a crew.
Okay.
Amy said, "I'll come and get you."
All right.
Yeah. So here again, like this verse is saying, right? Who is it? We've been reading in Bhagavatam on several occasions. Indra was a mess. The demons had taken over everything. And the demigods were praying for Vishnu to somehow come and save them. And Vishnu, one time he came as Vamanadev, right? And as Vamanadev, he saved them. One time he came, he arranged the whole churning of the ocean of milk, and he appeared as Matsya, or Kurma, and so he's in so many different ways. He came and he appeared as the boar. He appeared as the lion to wipe out the demons when they had taken over everything, and Indra lost his position. So he is saying here, your son is Lord Vishnu, but Nanda it seems like he's hearing just like, my God, he has these incredible past lives. It's like, but it still doesn't quite register with him exactly who his son is.
It's a mystical world, Kaustubha. Who are you? Who are you in your previous life?
Who?
I wonder if we were friends. Ever
Could
think
have
about
been.
that?
Could have been.
Were we friends in a previous life? Was I your father
It's
in a
possible.
previous life?
It's possible.
Were we twins? Who was Mara? How does she fit in?
Who was Mara?
You know what I mean? I wonder these things. I sit in my bed and look up at the stars and think, like, who was Kaustubha? Who am I? Who is Mara? Have I met them in this life? Have you met people like this? I've met them in this life only. But then there's other people you're like, why am I so connected with this person?
Why? Is there any way that we can change that?
You can't. Isn't it interesting? You can't get rid of me.
All right.
You know what I mean? Try. You can't. Life too long.
That's right. You and I, we're stuck together. You're stuck with me.
There's a reason why we're woven together.
You're thinking, if I just do
I'm okay with
3
that.
shows a week, I won't have to deal with this guy so much. No, Raghunath, it's not going to work.
It's like you're going to move across the street, Yes, we can't escape each other, man.
It's true. It's true. Sorry.
Text 18. Demons,
Asuras.
aka asuras,
Yeah.
cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly,
Wink, wink. Right? Like your son here, he's
Your
Vishnu.
Wah, wah, wah. Demons or asuras cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate.
This
That
is important.
a T-shirt in itself.
Yeah.
All right. Any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely. It's just true, because such persons are very much affectionate towards Krishna. they cannot be defeated by demons like the associates of Kamsa or by the internal enemies, the senses. That is so evident in the Nishringadev movie.
Okay.
You know, here is young Prahlad. He's getting tortured again and again. And he's just, the way they make Prahlad in this animation, like so humble. And even when his father's trying to like brutally kill him, he's like, oh, Father, Lord Vishnu loves you as well. It's
Yeah,
like, you
I mean,
choose this coward Lord Vishnu because Vishnu doesn't appear. So Hiranyakashipu is like, this guy's just a coward. You choose this Lord Vishnu over your own family. You're choosing him over your uncle and over myself. And he's like, and he was like, you know, we are uncles, and you know, I'm your son and his nephew, only for a moment in time. But Lord Vishnu is our father eternally.
you too, right?
Wake up to this.
Wake up.
And everything will be Lord Vishnu.
Everything will work out.
Everything's going to work out. Prahlad is never in fear.
Right.
Fear like robs us. Fear is such a, it just robs us of our life, but it robs us of reality as well. Because in reality, God has our back at all time. It's
Right.
almost like a little kid is not fearful. Ever walk alone? Ever do this one? When you're a little kid, you're walking in the store with your mom, you're holding her hand, you let go of her hand for a second, and then she walks somewhere else, and you still think you're with her.
Okay.
And you turn around and no one's there. It's like some other woman. You grab some other lady's hand,
Yeah.
and you just completely bug out.
Raghunath,
Krishna is actually walking with us.
Raghunath,
Yes, sir.
what you just said is a Krishna
Is.
miracle.
Is it? Why?
I'm not going to say right now, but you're going to find out in a moment, okay?
Really? All right.
Yes. But
Okay,
before we...
this is not rehearsed, people.
This
if
is
you're
not
listening to
rehearsed.
this, like, look, they rehearsed this. There's
is
no
not
way
rehearsed.
Raghunath can be so insightful. Yes.
Okay, this is a Krishna miracle. Look how thrilled you are right now. This is a Krishna miracle. But before we get to that, there's a couple things we need to say about this verse.
Tell me.
Well, and it's related to what you're saying. But one is that, well, first let me say this. There's a verse in the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto.
No.
We're not
Go
talking about
ahead.
you anymore. Sorry. We're going to get back to you in a moment. Don't worry. But this verse, the great acharyas, you know, the great teachers of Bhakti Yoga have said that this verse, they call it the Paribhasa Sutra, which means that, like, commonly there's a verse in a text, commonly it comes early in the text, and through that verse, you can understand the whole text through the lens of that verse.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah. It gives you a context in which to understand everything.
What number is it?
Oh, I forget the number, but it's in the 3rd chapter, but it's the famous verse that it says, the chapter is a list of all the different incarnations of Krishna. And then this verse comes out, and it says that,
Bhagavan Swayam.
that's right, that's Ete Changsa Kala Pungsa Krishna.
While I read, you can put that on the, or Nityananda Chandra, put that on the board. Everyone should know at least that line of that verse.
Yeah. And so it's saying that all of these incarnations are portions of the portions, right, of Krishna, who is Svayam Bhagavan, who is the original, right? He's like, it's like there's an original source to all of these incarnations. It's that sweet little boy Krishna, right? He's not ordinary. He's not even an incarnation. He is the origin of all incarnations.
Right.
And so through that, we can understand the whole Bhagavatam. This verse is reflecting that, right? Demons cannot harm the demigods who always have Lord Vishnu on the verse actually mentions that when the demons overtake, then he comes in these incarnations. But little Krishna is the origin of them all. So this verse is like, it's directly connecting with that. Who is that? It's the sweet little boy Krishna. And again, and the other thing I want to mention, as you were saying, here is the formula for life. If you treasure Krishna, if you keep your attention on Krishna, which is actually in the next verse, Nanda is going to be encouraged to do, you overcome everything. You have nothing to fear. He's going to say that even more clearly. But it was interesting how he said, right? You overcome all the demons, like all your external. You don't have to have fear of any external enemies. But also, Prabhupada, he also says, or the internal enemies, the senses, right? If your attention is always going to Krishna, if you're treasuring Krishna in your mind and in your heart, you'll be the most sense-controlled yogi. You won't be controlled by your senses and become a puppet to the material energy. Okay, now text 19, and then after that, we're going to get to this Krishna miracle, Raghunath, after text 19.
Okay. In conclusion, therefore, O Nanda Maharaj, this child of yours is as good as Narayan.
Hello?
Do I have to spell this out anymore? Womp womp. He is good. He's a good kid. In his
like
transcendental
Narayan.
qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence, he is exactly like Narayan.
Okay.
You should all raise this child very carefully and cautiously.
Okay. So I think we can understand that it's like if we want the birth of, we read in earlier chapters in the 10th canto how all these demons had to be, all of these children of Devaki had to die first before Krishna appears, and those represented all these lower qualities in us. In a similar way, very carefully, very cautiously raise this. We all need to keep our Krishna consciousness, our awareness of Krishna. We should guard it. We should protect it like it's a child that needs like it's a little infant that needs our protection, right? Protect it from all outside things that could harm our own awareness, always being focused on Krishna.
Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued, after Garga Muni, having instructed Nanda Maharaj about Krishna, departed for his own home. Nanda Maharaj was very pleased and considered himself full of all good fortune.
Okay, so we're gonna hear a whole series of verses. Maybe not in the next one, but we just heard the verse ended with saying he was feeling very pleased. This is the simplicity on the other side of complexity, right? Nanda Maharaj is a simple man. But as a yogi, his attention is entirely focused on Krishna more than any other yogi who's focusing on a candle or on the Brahman or whatever, right? And this is we're meant to take this journey through complexity to this refined simplicity where you're feeling transcendental bliss, the deepest transcendental bliss. He's feeling it, and we're going to hear about how Yashoda's feeling it, etc.
After a short time passed, both brothers, Rama and Krishna, began to crawl on the ground of Braj with the strength of their little hands and their little knees, and thus enjoy childhood play.
What age does this crawling start?
Are you asking me? Like,
I'm asking.
Physiologically in children?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Is it like 6 months or something like that, or
maybe 8 months. Mara's going to research this.
Okay, so that's the age of Krishna right now. He's finally crawling a little bit. He's crawling in the mud. Now, Raghunath?
They waited a long time before they gave this child a name.
Yeah.
Between 7 and 10 months.
7 to 10 months. Pretty good, Kaustubha, for a
Okay,
childless
not bad.
man.
Yeah, 6, I said. Okay. So now, Raghunath, we're about to get to the Krishna miracle.
Okay. And when Kaustubha says it's a Krishna miracle, it may be miraculous.
Now, you were talking about being in the supermarket, and then you're walking with your mother, and then she walks away, and you think that woman's your mother.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Some other strange woman.
Hold on, Raghu.
I did that with Tarun in the airport the other day. I was in the airport. I was walking. You're trying to walk to catch your connecting flight.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tarun, come on, let's go. And we were walking around. Then Tarun disappears. Some little Asian child walks in. And I grabbed this Asian child. I was like, come on, let's get out of here.
You didn't even notice. I was the one who pointed
Raghu.
it out. I was like, that wasn't true.
You're lucky you didn't get arrested.
I just let go. I said, come on, let's get out of here. It was like a scene. Yeah.
Now, usually it's the child that's making that kind of mistake, not the adults. But
I don't know what his father thought.
All right.
When Krishna and Balaram, after a short time passed, both brothers
read that. They're crawling in the mud
and
now.
Balaram, with the strength of their legs, crawled in the muddy places created in Braj by cow dung and cow urine. Their crawling resembled the crawling of serpents on the ground, and the sound of their ankle bells was very charming. Very much pleased by the sound of other people's ankle bells, they used to follow these people as if going to their mothers. But then, when they saw that these were other people, they became afraid and returned to their real mothers, Yashoda and Rohini.
Boom. That's exactly what you're describing happening in the grocery store.
Yeah. That was it. That's pretty much Krishna miracle.
How did you say that one thing on this day, right before we read this verse, Raghunath? That's Krishna's in your heart.
Maybe I read. Maybe I read ahead. Hmm?
All right, if you don't
You're
want
like, maybe you don't.
to. Yeah, no, you definitely don't. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
But
it's
no,
pretty
but
good. That is sort of a Christian miracle.
that's a total Krishna miracle, Raghunath.
Yeah, I
It's a
agree.
total Krishna miracle. But now think about this. Think about here is Krishna, the Parabrahman, the source of the the universes, the planets, the demigods, and he's crawling like a little baby in the mud,
Mm,
and he's seeing another woman. He's so down low on the ground he can only see the ankle bells. He's like, oh, there's mommy,
there's mommy. There's
and he
mommy.
goes crawling to mommy, and then he
The wrong
sees
mama.
he says, oh, mommy, and then he sees it's not mommy, and he becomes afraid. Right? Did it mention that in this verse yet, or is it in the next verse? When they saw that there are other people, they became afraid.
It's
Little
scary.
the origin of all the universes is becoming afraid. And he's like the most vulnerable little baby crawling in the mud that can't even figure out who his mother is and becomes terrified by a woman that's causing him no harm. Then he goes crawling back to his mother, and mommy. Right? This is
Amazing.
Krishna's love, his vulnerability. Now read the next one.
See, Kaustubha, if you're just good to me, I'll reveal all these things to you.
Raghunath, I'm always good to you. If you just realize that.
You've been good today, and therefore I reveal miracles.
Okay, thank
Want to see more miracles? I can do them.
Be good.
Just be good. You'll get them all. Where are we, Mayor? 23.
23.
Dressed with muddy earth mixed with cow dung. Isn't that cute? Dressed with it. Dressed with muddy earth.
Because he got no other clothes on, right? He's naked.
No. Mixed with cow dung and cow urine, the babies looked very beautiful. And when they went to their mothers, both Yashoda and Rohini picked them up with great affection, embraced them, and allowed them to suck the milk flowing from their breasts. While sucking the breast, the babies smiled, and with their small teeth were visible. Their mothers, upon seeing those beautiful teeth, enjoyed great transcendental bliss.
Okay. That great transcendental bliss, that's not just like saying they were happy. That's saying that the deepest yogic ananda Mother Yashoda is experiencing. She's the greatest yogini of all, right? She's in direct connection with the part of Brahman. She's experiencing this incredible bliss by breastfeeding but Krishna, by looking in his little mouth and seeing, oh, look, some teeth are growing. She's having waves of ecstasy. She's being drowned in them. And that's the simplicity on the other side of complexity, right? She has all the detachment that the yogis are having these riddles about one hand clapping and all of that stuff that they're trying to get. She has absolutely no attraction to anything material. She's entirely focused on the Pada Brahman in the form of sweet little baby Krishna. And she's feeling this great ananda.
The goal of mindfulness. Mindfulness,
Yeah.
that's Sri Krishna. Not just mindfulness to be, I'm eating too fast, or I'm not placing my feet down on the ground properly. Or there's so many things we can practice within mindfulness. The way I talk to people, the way I respond to people. No, the actual mindfulness is to your complete focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Within the house of Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of the babies, Rama and Krishna. The babies would catch the ends of the calves' tails, and the calves would drag them here and there. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household duties, their household activities, and laughed and enjoyed the incidents.
Yeah, so more, right? It's
Like
like
a little dangerous.
no, they're okay. They're all right. Because it's just a little calf, too.
Yeah, it's a little calf. I guess it couldn't hurt the baby.
And but again, it's like this is Vyasa's writing his again. I think if we were reading it in the Sanskrit and we really understood Sanskrit poetry and so on, this would be couched in this beautiful poetic language. It might lend us to see right off the bat just how special it is. But we do need to understand that this is the pinnacle of yoga being described by Vyasa. And it's manifesting in this super cute and, in a sense, simple way. The love that one's heart feels when seeing the full-on attractive beauty of God and feeling that love it's so powerful that Krishna himself wants to feel it, right? It's so elevated. It's such an elevated state of yogic perfection that Krishna himself wants to feel it and comes as his own devotee to feel it. And that's Sri Chaitanya. I think we're out of time, Rabbi. That's a great
Mara.
verse to go into Janmashtami with, right?
Yeah, it is.
Sweet baby Krishna tonight, people.
Sweet
We're
baby
gonna
Krishna
read.
tonight.
We're just we know what we're not going to start any particular. We're going to start exactly where me and Mara, because we're going to read anyway. So why not just read
This
for everybody
with the people.
with our people here? So join us
Krishna
tonight,
for the
7
people.
o'clock.
Sweet baby Krishna for the people.
Yeah, come in, check in, read together.
7.
Great way to prepare for Janmashtami.
Yeah, Miss Mara, what you got?
All right.
Have you been listening carefully?
I have.
Have you been good to him?
Mara is the best.
Okay.
Seriously, Mara is the
Okay.
best. Serious.
Serious. Kaustubha's terrible. Mara good. Kaustubha bad.
You're learning. You're learning.
All right. Once you're on a spiritual path, you see with sharper eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Cultivate divine love without a trace of selfishness.
That's right.
Find teachers who make the complex simple
There you
Yeah.
go.
Right.
Yeah.
rather than muddying the waters.
That's right.
It's a sign of a good teacher.
Yeah, we don't want muddy waters for a guru.
Who's Muddy Waters, a singer?
Muddy waters
blues
like a
guy?
blue sky. Yeah, exactly.
Krishna's grace helps us surpass all difficulties.
That's right.
What?
That is Krishna.
that
Why did he
was a
call himself
stage-
Muddy Waters?
That was a stage name, right?
I doubt his mother named him Muddy, but it's possible.
Yeah, Waters is a last name. Muddy Waters. Well, Bob Dylan had a stage name. It was Robert
Bob
Zimmerman.
Dylan. No, his stage name was Bob Dylan.
Yeah, but Robert Zimmerman was his name.
Many do, Raghunath.
Like, why?
Many of these
I never
musicians.
did that. Ray of Today. I guess they called me Ray of
Yeah,
Today.
there you
for a
go.
while.
Right today.
Okay.
There's a reason why we're woven together.
There's a reason. Yep. There's a reason why we're woven together.
There's
sir.
a
You and I- you
reason.
and I-
We almost got I just made the mistake. Oh, I wasn't
We're all
thinking that,
woven
sir.
together. Us three and all the Zoomers.
Okay.
But the others.
And the others. We're woven with the others, too.
Anyone attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate.
Remember when we used to have the Californians? What was all the distinctions we had? We had the Zoomers. We had the
We're just getting
others.
sentimental now.
We had the Californians.
There's others.
The Zothers, which were the people who are both on Zoom, and
They were like the sometimes Zoomers.
the sometimes Zoomers, sometimes others. Then we had the live, which were where
Yeah.
people were actually with us, not just live on Zoom, but they're in our house with us or wherever we're
Live.
doing it live.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's all the categories of listeners of Wisdom of the Sages.
You know, so Muddy Waters, his real name was McKinley Morganfield.
Pretty good name itself.
I don't know. I think if you want to make it in the blues world,
Morganfield.
I think Muddy Waters is the way to go.
Yeah.
Morgan Fields didn't make it in blues.
There was some record executive said, "Your name is now Muddy Waters."
and
What?
Back then, those guys had so much power. The record executives.
They're like, "What are you talking about?"
Just trust me on this one. We're
Trust
gonna
me,
make it big. Trust me, Muddy.
Muddy.
You know what? This show podcast is very educational. You learn a lot of stuff here.
How things work behind the scenes.
Yeah. Look, I'm touching her. That's inappropriate in some circles, and public affection is
Thank
inappropriate.
you. Okay, thank you. Let's keep it a little space there.
She's so
Little
nice.
space for
Back to our take.
Lori Pag and the Chief, they have an appropriate
Holy
space right
Ghost.
there. They've also been married for 45 years.
a little space for the Holy Ghost there.
Fear robs us of reality.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, it cheats us, huh?
It does. Carefully guard our Krishna consciousness.
Guarded like a sweet little baby.
Carefully guard our Krishna consciousness. Oh, God, that's sweet.
Like a sweet little baby, Raghunath. Don't let someone weird man in the airport take it away.
Carefully guarded.
Like a little Asian boy.
Guarded like a sweet little Asian boy in an airport.
That poor little, I might have scarred that poor child. I was like, come with me. I put my arm around himself. Let's get going. If that was me and an Asian man put their arm around my son, I would have hit him in this. It didn't have to be Asian. I would have hit him.
Oh, this is good. Do you see what Achyuta shared here? A little dance diagram.
What is that? Appropriate ways to dance in the 50s?
Leaving room for the Holy Spirit. You have the man, the woman. They're kind of at arm length. You're
And
supposed to
look
say
right
one
between their pelvis.
Bible length away, and in between it says insert Holy Spirit here. There's a little space there between.
You know what? I like these old school Christians. It's like modern day Hinduism.
Okay.
And
I wish the Christians would just accept what we're doing as a good
Mary
thing.
just gave a big eye roll right there.
No,
You
you
didn't
know
see
what? If you think about it, the Christians would love us if they would just accept us. We accept you.
That's right.
Just
They would love
accept
us. Open up, Christians. Open up.
Open
to
up
us.
to us. We're good people. We have a lot of good boundaries. You'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
and actual mindfulness is complete focus on sweet baby Krishna.
Sweet little baby Krishna.
Mindfulness. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
We're going to see you on
Thanks
Monday
for
again.
joining us.
If not, sweet baby Krishna.
Trisha Long. I don't think I said hello to you, did I, Patricia Long? Did I say good morning earlier? If not, I feel bad because later in the show I was like, oh, there's Patricia Long, and say hello to Patricia Long
You're saying it now.
and Professor Snooki, and that could really scar a person if I said hello to everybody and just jumped over them. That would be like, and Sarah Ditto. I don't think I said good morning to Sarah Ditto. Well, where was I this morning? I wasn't mindful. Maybe I was absolutely mindful on Sweet Baby Krishna. How about Road Rage? Did I say good morning to him? No.
No.
I miss Road Rage. Come here, you big teddy bear. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.